Well, cheers and or lunches. I like to say, how do you do, Buckaroos? How the heck are you? I am Tom the Beer Whisperer. As I finish something up here, let me make sure I got this worked out over here, though. I used to always hit public, but I've gotten down to just hitting friends. Because when I hit public, well, then the haters come out. You got people that watch you just because they want to be nasty. And we all have those, don't we? It's become a brutal political scene. Jesus Christ. There used to be a time where you could talk to people and have a difference of an opinion and still remain friends afterwards. But difference of opinion has become something else lately. I can disagree with you. You can disagree with me. And we can be friends if we're talking about, I like cheese on a cheeseburger, you don't. But if you're talking about you want to take rights away from groups of people because an archaic book that you worship that was written by pig farmers, so it was written by people that had no idea of what the world was outside of their own little bubble at that time. No, we cannot remain friends. And I think that's what seems to be missing today is that there was those Tip O'Neill days, right? I remember the Tip O'Neill days, which seemed to be polarizing, but really weren't. But now we've got people that not only disagree with you, but they want to say, we want to strip rights away from groups of people just because our archaic book says so. Well, we were never meant to be. We were never meant to be. There's a reason why the founding fathers put together a separation between church and state because we weren't supposed to be that other places were. I mean, hell, if you want to live in a society that's all about what some religious book, go somewhere else. There are other countries that will do that for you. Why do you want to remain here? Well, you're not an American, Tom. Well, you don't like America. No, I love America, which is why I want to see it remain America and not some religious theocracy that you think it ought to be. The problem with a theocracy is it's all about interpretation, right? Uh, there is no right interpretation of the Bible. You can look at the Bible, and I can look at the Bible, and we're going to look at certain phrases different ways. And that's the problem is that there are folks that have a very rigid version of what the Bible means to them, and they want it to apply to you too. And that's a problem. Well, we hate these people, Tom, and we want you to hate them too. Why is that such a problem? Because nobody should hate anybody. Isn't that what Jesus said? Again, it's up to interpretation, but I mean, love one another as I have loved you. Why is that so difficult? This we should be forgetting. We should forget the Ten Commandments altogether because that's the Old Testament. The New Testament is love one another as I have loved you. That's what we should be practicing, and that's what the current group of morons want us to believe. They want us to live in this theocracy that they have manufactured in their own in their own heads that doesn't really exist. I mean, come on, man. Can't we all just get somebody living any particular lifestyle doesn't affect you? So why do you want to regulate it? It just doesn't make any sense. And being gay, for instance, isn't a lifestyle any more than being heterosexual is a lifestyle. If you think being heterosexual is a lifestyle, I'll grant you being gay is a lifestyle. But if you don't think being heterosexual is a lifestyle, it's how you are, well then you should have the intelligence to accept that being gay isn't a lifestyle either. Anyways, I digress. People are who they are, man. Nobody should have to live by anybody else's superstitions, and that's what believing the Bible is. It's a whole lot of superstitions written by folks that had no idea what was really going on in the world at that particular moment in time. Anyways, I digress. So I'm going to get light now and just say, enjoy the time you have with your family. My wife and I lost our son when he was 14 years old to cancer. So Father's Day is always difficult for me, as well as Mother's Day is always difficult for her, as well as every day is always difficult for both of us, because you know, just because there's not a particular bookmark on certain days doesn't mean you don't feel that grief. So enjoy the people you have in your life while you have them there. If you don't have them because you are delving into some sort of ignorance and prejudice, well, that's on you, man. That's not on them. Everybody's trying to live their best life. And I just hope that we can all get there someday where everybody will accept everybody for who they are. Anyways, I digress. But I digress. Mercy, Percy. I am grateful that I have a wife that I've had for almost 30 years now. My daughter is just amazing. We have two incredible grandkids. I do mourn my son every day. That's kind of that's something that you just have to go through. Um, there is no end to a grieving. There is no end to grieving. There is no grieving period per se. Um, People like you to think that grieving works on a straight line, that you're at the worst here and it eventually gets better as you go past that. And grieving doesn't work that way, folks. Grieving goes like this. So quite frankly, tomorrow might be worse than today is, even though it's the day after Father's Day. You will always grieve your loss. I grieve the loss of my mother that died a few weeks ago. I grieve the loss of my father that died in 1998. I grieve the loss of my son that died in 2013. I grieve the loss of my cats. I grieve the loss of my dog, Mandy. We lost the last of our cats a year ago, Eddie, that was Seamus's cat. And damn, that one was difficult. People don't get to tell you how you should grieve. You should grieve any way you want to. And grieve for as long as you need to. Anyways, I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, Beer Evangelist, prolific beer drinker, beer wisdom, and all around good guy. Spot you.